I follow his blog.
Okay, it started recording, so no secrets, anybody.
He tends to get more off track and talk more about.
I heard them say it, but I never saw anybody like actually recording the first one.
Oh yeah, just a little webcam.
Oh my God. Yes, that did not know that. Yeah. Was not the reason in all the meetings.
I had to leave, take my wife and daughter home. In the middle of, I went to one right before lunch. Hers over there. One right there. That's her presentation. But yeah, my daughter was feeling all right. I got home, my wife wasn't feeling
I'm a
all right.
physicist, okay? I have a
Going back.
master's in development and an MBA. So you're not too nerdy.
I
haven't really been. That's a good thing.
50 more minutes and then
It's pretty boring and
see you later. I got to see how cold it's going for anything. Today's will
So I'm here personally.
I got the last one. I'm always the last. And I don't know what it is, but I always, and I start take care. It starts with the youngest, and then the next kid, and then the wife, and then me. But and I don't know why I'm not the next one again, because I was the first one to be taking care.
Once they get you contagious.
Maybe, but I'm usually the one, like I'm the one who grabs my daughter home from school. I'm the one who takes her care of her.
So if you do the kind of thing. Right.
No, I didn't get it. You have to do exercise. But I'm always the one. I get up to my wife instead of that's hard. Yeah. Or I just can't stop. Once it does it again, it's like, all right, you guys are on your way up.
It's your turn to take care of me now.
I didn't do anything.
So I just had to do it out, and then I found out. And they told me I was going to go to the
I don't. I did that tomorrow.
Donnie said, yeah, Miles said that's the
I got to tell you, this is really hard.
Right.
So I'm really glad they're getting busy.
I'll ask you. I'll ask you want the light sound?
Hey
guys, real quick.
Maybe tomorrow.
What's better for the screen?
That one or?
That or?
Just swap them both. That way, I think.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Okay,
Or I can turn them all off if you want me to, but I think this is best.
that's good.
Yeah.
Good from over here.
Awesome. Okay, hi guys, my name is Ita Udo Ema. I am the founder and CEO of View from Above Entertainment. I do online video production, and so a few things of full disclosure. First off, as much as I love standing up in front of a group of total strangers and talking, I prefer to keep things interactive, so if you have questions, please feel free to shoot them out, things like that. The other thing is that after it's kind of hard going later in the day. After a whole day of listening to other people talk, I've got ideas and things floating around in my head, so I'm going to desperately try not to shoot too far off topic and start ranting about what I believe about video, but feel free to ask me if you'd like. with that said, I also like to do things very, I want you to have something to be able to walk away with. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to encourage you to, one, interact with me, and two, actually pick up a pen and write these things down. We're actually going to do something today. So it's not just about collecting theory, it's about actually creating some activity. So quick question, how many people actively have a project that they want to try to do some sort of video work? Okay. Let me get a for instance, like what are you doing?
I'm a cookbook author, so I do a lot of cooking videos, instructional.
Okay. Who else?
Food.
Yes.
I'm writing my thesis in school on YouTube success, and the first draft is essentially in video format.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else?
Filming some video blogs, basically.
Okay. So now remember what all these people just said. That's going to come into play a little bit later. So a little bit about me and my background. I originally went to school for mechanical engineering. Went to Purdue University and spent 3 years studying mechanical engineering, only to find out that I find mechanical engineering very boring. I think it's very interesting, but I did an internship at Boeing. Actually, at the time it was McDonnell Douglas. And in the 3 months summer that I was there, I spent exactly 5 minutes actually touching the aircraft. The whole time was spent looking at a book that had a list of variables in it. And I made sure that the variables in the book matched the computer. So I literally spent the summer doing this. Check. Yeah. Check. Now, that was not my dream. My dream when I went into engineering was to be an Imagineer, to work for Disney and work in Epcot Center building robots. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I like Star Trek. So when I think of an engineer, I think of Geordie LaForge. I said, that's what I'm going to do. So, checking the variables, I said, this isn't working for me. So my parents, God bless them, actually said, you know what, you don't like this, you're not happy, you're coming home, what do you want to do? And I said, if I can't build these things in real life, in real space, I'll build them in a virtual space. So I went to the Art Institute of Phoenix, got my first degree in computer animation. It just so happened that a very good friend of mine was studying film at Purdue, and when he moved back from there, it turned out that he lived 4 blocks away from me. And so we set upon the mission of making our first movie. It is, well, it's called Night of the Chihuahuas, and don't look for it, you'll never find it. It was a really, really bad, but fun to make horror comedy about a group of mutant chihuahuas that overrun a small Arizona town. If you do happen to find a copy, listen to the director's commentary. Yeah, that was fun. But anyway, so I did that, and then we actually went on to make 2 more feature films, also bad horror movies. And I said, you know what? Horror movies aren't really my thing. I like comedy, I like action, and I want to do the special effects stuff that I had always planned on doing. And so I started my own company, View from Above Entertainment. Now, obviously, making movies is a long, arduous process, and it's slow to generate revenue. But I also realized this is about the same time that YouTube was starting to blow up. And I don't mean just for cat videos, I mean for business. And I said, you know what, I've got a unique skill set here. This is something that I can offer out to the public. So that's who I am, and that's what I do. And today we're going to talk about why video, how to develop an online video blueprint. I'd like to say a lot of the stuff I'm going to be talking about, it's not rocket science, it's advanced common sense. So first off, video is a connector. Online video is second only to word of mouth for its ability to influence decision makers in every stage of the purchasing life cycle. How many of you knew that YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world? Okay, and it makes sense. YouTube is owned by Google. Google is the largest. Google owns everything else in the world. So, so it makes sense that search engine optimization, they favor YouTube videos. They like them, and they come up really well in search. I'm not going to get too much into that, but that's something to keep in mind. Video is very powerful, not only because of the emotion and the connection that it can evoke, but Google likes it. If Google likes it, you can't really go wrong there. So let me start here. How many people have heard of Simon Sinek? He's the author of Start With Why. Every client that I work with, every person I meet, everybody I talk to, I try to teach them what I refer to as the golden circle methodology. Okay? I'm going to play this video for you, and you can kind of get a sense of how it works. After this commercial break.
Such a good episode. This season's TV on your schedule, HuluPlus.com. Or at TV, the world is thinking.
All those great leaders and all those great organizations, everything from Martin Luther King to Apple Computers, it doesn't matter. Big companies, small companies in every single industry. All those that command great loyalty. People. Loyalty is a feeling. Loyalty is a feeling, a human feeling. All those that command loyalty from employees and from customers and from investors. Every single one of them, regardless of their industry, thinks, acts, and communicates the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everybody else. All I did was write it down. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. It's a bullseye. In the middle is the word why. The center ring is the word how. And the outside ring is the word what. It's this little idea that distinguishes those that survive those 3 years, and more importantly, it's this little idea that is able to inspire people to join you in your pursuit. Every single organization on the planet knows what they do. You know the products you sell and the services you offer. Some organizations know how they do what they do. These are the things that we think make us special or better or stand out from our competition. But not very many organizations can clearly state why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit, that's a result. By why, I don't mean to have an exit strategy. By why, I mean what's your purpose, what's your cause, what's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why did you get out of bed this morning? And why should anyone care? As a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. We tell people what we do, we tell them how we do it, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, support, a vote, working hard. But all the inspired leaders, those with the capacity to inspire, every single one of them, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, thinks, acts, and communicates from the inside out. They all start with why. I use Apple very frequently because they're easy to understand and we all get it. If Apple were like everyone else, a piece of communication from them would sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? That's normal. Here's our new technology company. We have these features and that features, and we're better than our competition in this way. We're simpler and have a better user interface. Choose us. This is normal. Here's our law firm. We have all the best lawyers, we have all the best schools, we win all of our cases. Choose us. This is the norm. But all the inspiring leaders and all the inspiring organizations do it differently. This is how Apple actually does it. They start here. Everything we do, they say, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? It feels different. You want to join me in this pursuit, not because my computers are better, but because you believe what I believe.
Okay, what do you guys think about that?
Awesome and true.
And simple. Okay, so like I said, most companies, the ABC company, starts with what, how, why. We make great computers, they're beautifully designed, and simply used. Want to buy one? So I put it to you, I said, what's the project you're working on? You said, oh, I write cookbooks. Great. I'm writing my thesis. Okay. And I forgot what yours was. Video blogs. Yeah, I do video blogs. So here's what I would challenge you guys to take 2 minutes. I want you to write down, and I usually do this in bullet points. There's a website that I really like called Workflowy. It's in workflowy.com, and it's just an outlining program. But you can do this with a pen and pad. Just head bullet point, what? Then write down what you do. I'm a blogger, I'm a cooker, I'm a photographer, I sell autoglass, I do this, that, and the other thing. That's what I do. How? By communicating with customers, by reaching out to, by sending email lists, and then write out your whys. Why do I do it? Why? Why is it important? Why do you write cookbooks? Why are you working on your thesis? Why do you video blog? Why? And just make the list. Go ahead. Now you can do one bullet point, or you can do 3 or 4 bullet points. Right now, given the amount of time we have, doesn't matter. You can just 1 or 2 things that just feel like they fit. Don't overanalyze, just write down anything and everything that seems pretty close. A nice tip or trick, when you're trying to come up with your why, using phrases like I believe, starting with the phrase I believe that, XYZ, is a great way to find your why. Because we've all been trained, we already know what we do. And we know pretty much how we do it, even though we may not always lay it out. Okay, good. Take. Okay. Pencils down. And so now all we're going to do is we're just going to flip it. All I want you to do is read it backwards. So you look at your list and you say, okay, I'm going to start with the why, and then try to kind of craft a sentence reading it from the bottom to the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to pick on you because you're the closest. What's the project you want to work on again? Start with why. Tell it to me now.
Okay. You want my why or what?
I want you to tell me what you're working. I want you to tell me.
I'm a cookbook author and publisher.
Nope.
Oh.
Do it with the golden circle.
Oh, okay. I believe that people can help themselves through healthy foods.
So now move on. So now what's the what?
I'm a cookbook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or that.
Okay.
Sorry. Now move to the house.
Yeah, how, yeah. So I believe that people can help themselves, can heal themselves through healthy food. So I am developing healthy recipes for people with food allergies and health complications by writing cookbooks.
Whoa.
That is awesome.
Sounds completely different, right?
Yes.
All you do is
Right.
flip it around.
That is awesome.
And like I said, this methodology, it works great for video, for these teaser videos, or for explainer videos as I call them, but it works for everything across your business. I was going through a business workshop when I was first getting started. I'm still getting started in many respects. But when I had to come up with my pitch, my 20-second pitch, I saw this video. I saw this Simon Sinek video and went, whoa, wait a minute. That makes it a lot easier. So when I stand up here and say, oh, well, I do video production, I work for small businesses and medium-sized businesses because they need help advertising and marketing, that's where I started. Now it's because I believe everybody has a story to tell. I believe everyone needs to make a connection. I use the digital video medium through online video production. And that's me not memorizing it and doing it in 30 seconds, in 10 seconds. But if you start with the why first, it changes the reaction. Okay? So hold on to those lists, and we'll continue on how to put this together. Golden Circle methodology states that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And one of the cool things, it's not in this clip, but I highly recommend that you go back and listen to that entire talk. He talks about the fact that what makes this amazing is that it's based on biology, not psychology, biology. Because the way this is laid out is in congruence with the way our brain is laid out, the different parts of our brain. And this is the decisional center. This is the lizard brain. When you have that gut feeling, it comes from here. When you're looking at products, features, benefits, and all that, that's cognitive. That's your gut feeling. So, moving along. So forms and function. There's a lot of different ways to present video. It's usually thrown together in this big blanket format as video. Well, there's basic video, which can be something as simple as using your webcam for blogging, or using your iPhone or Android for making videos, your iPad, what have you, and just a straight shoot. But there's also the photo montage. Maybe you're a photographer. There's a cool effect called the Ken Burns effect, which is a still photograph that just kind of moves, pans in, out, zooms ever so slightly. Now, if you're a photographer, or depending on what your niche is, that might be a perfect solution for you. For example, I've actually got a client, he's an airplane broker, and I've heard that this is true for real estate agents as well. For whatever reason, doing the basic video, having people walk around and talk, people don't really respond to that. But if you have really nice photos and just add a little bit of music and move them around a little bit, it's a perfect video for you. So there's two sites that are really good at this. Animoto.com. It was specifically designed for photographers. Viewbox is another one. I like Animoto. The things that I will say, with any of these that I'm pointing out, there are trade-offs. There's some benefits, some detractors. Animoto is great, but you can't control the order in which the photos show up. You can't control the pacing. So you dump in your 10 photos and it'll automatically animate them for you. But if you wanted certain ones to come up at certain times, they can't do that. Okay. Then there's just basic animation. It's a website called Prezi, which is basically a really fancy PowerPoint, which does swings and moves and zooms in and zooms out to photographs, and it's just a slideshow. But that's what it does, and it's really good for that. Use Prezi, create your slideshow, and then just do a screen capture while it's playing back. Play it back on your computer and hit record. You've got a video that you were able to manipulate and create. Like I said, I've got a degree in computer animation, and I use some really funky software. Wouldn't expect any of you guys to know how to use that, but Prezi you can do. You can make PowerPoint. Extra normal, I have it on the list because a lot of people like it, and depending on what your market is, maybe it's appropriate. With that said, don't use extra normal. It's one of these, I think it's good because it's ubiquitous. Anybody can use it, but it's bad because it's ubiquitous. Everybody uses it. And for those of you who haven't seen it, you've probably seen the little teddy bears that run around with the voice synthesized thing, talking to each other. That's extra normal. And when it first came out, I think it was a great idea, but then everybody said, well, hell, I can use that. And they did. So we're kind of past that point. So then also, as you're looking at what kind of content to create, there's promos, just an overview of your company or your service, introduction to the staff, introduction to a specific product. There's how-tos, really good for creating consistent content, great for blogs, not about my business, but how-to within the scope of my business. For those of you, how many of you are familiar with Geek Squad? Okay, so Geek Squad got started because the founder started creating content saying, here's how you install your stereo, here's how you hook up your VCR, here's how you do this, that, and the other thing. And it was all how-tos. And the common thought was that, well, if you tell people how to do it, they're never going to hire you. And the exact opposite turned out to be true. You told them how to do it, and they went, God, I don't want to do that. Here, I'll give you money, you do it for me. Walkthroughs. If you are doing real estate, walking through the houses that you're selling. But if you have a store, if you have a brick and mortar store, walking through your entire facility, saying, hey, these are all the different areas of the store. If you have an online business, walk people, use Prezi or use Screencast, walk people through your website. There's a lot of talk about analytics and trying to see where people click and are they following the path to get to conversion. Well, maybe they don't know how. Create a video and say, this is how you get to conversion, right? That's a walkthrough. Product demos, fairly self-explanatory. Show people how your thing works. Vlogs. Just getting up and talking about your industry, talking about what you do and who you are. Remember, with video, it's not just about the content, it's about the content presenter. You're making a connection. You're connecting with people. And that's what social media is about, right? It's about connecting. Or the mini documentaries. If you've got a new product launch, anything where you can encapsulate a story, saying, you know, we're working on this new product launch, it's not perfect yet, but let me get you in at the beginning of the journey, and you can follow along with us. One of the things that I think people, there's a lot of people, you guys are familiar with crowdfunding, right? A lot of people get really excited. I'm going to create my little promo video, I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to get on the front page of Kickstarter, and I'm going to make millions of dollars. That's not how it works, one, and that's a whole different rant. But the mini documentary idea, it's people want to come along with you on the journey. So I've had a lot of people who come to me and say, oh, I need a Kickstarter video. I say, well, one, do you have a network? And what are you going to do about continuous content? Because they need the mini documentary to keep people coming back week after week to see what's happening. Well, I've already given you some money, but if you're still progressing, I'm going to start telling other people. I'm going to help spread the story. Right? Okay. So, two main pieces of content, or two main pieces of your video. Now we're starting to zero back in on how to actually make your script. Sound bites. Soundbite is a very short piece of speech taken from a larger speech or an interview, according to Wikipedia. I would argue that the sound bites is that list that you just wrote out. Why, how, what. Okay, those are your sound bites. Then now what you need to do is find the visual elements, any and all, that complement that story. So you spoke about healthy food, pictures of food, pictures of cooking. For you doing your thesis on YouTube, screenshots of YouTube videos, lots of them, stacked, pre-stacked, and mashed up, right? For your video blog, pictures of you in studio, you know, or other iconography, things like that. Let's see where we are here. And then don't forget to do your asset assessment. So think about all of those elements that you already have. Do you have your logo? Do you have your website? And when I say the website, I mean like a screenshot of the website or the specific page of the offer that you're making. Do you have the product? Do you have pictures of the product? Do you have that product handy so you can do, you know, pans and sweeps around it? If you're doing an app, do you have screenshots of the individual screens within the app? Okay. So now we've got our, actually before I get to that. Okay. Any questions so far? Does this make sense? Okay. So now that you've got your asset assessment, you've got your sound bites, and you've got your visual elements, and you've made a nice little list. Everybody's got their list, yeah? Awesome. Now we try to decide, well, what kind of video do we want to create? Now, there's a couple of different formats. These are, I wish I could say they were proprietary, but not. These are just the words that I choose to use. There's no right or wrong. Anybody can call them whatever you want. For me, it just makes it easier in my head to break them down by time. So first we've got the teaser, 15 to 30 seconds. The intent is to grab people's attention quickly. You're not going to be able to explain everything. You're not going to be able to show everything. You're just going to get people to go, oh, what was that? And then you always finish with your call to action. What? Click here for more. Okay. Next is the promo, 90 seconds to 180 seconds. Highly condensed fashion must have maximum appeal. This is a little bit more than the teaser. Now you're going to start to explain why you do it, and you're going to give me the reason why I should pay attention. So, okay, now you got my attention. What do you want? And what you want is the next call to action. Okay. And then I have what I call a featurette. It's 3 to 5 minutes. This is what you would call the prototypical online video. People ask all the time, oh, well, how long should my video be? on YouTube, according to statistics, the average runtime for an online video is 4 minutes and 11 seconds. The truth is, your video needs to be as long as it needs to be, and no more than that. Get to the point, tell me what it is, and tell me what you want, and let me move on. If you have to do it, if you can do it in less than 3 minutes, great. If it's going to take longer than that, that's okay too. My suggestion, however, would be to break it up into pieces. Nobody ever said that you have to tell everything in one shot. I'm sure there's a psychological reason. I know I'm guilty of this, but I can't tell you why. I will not sit and watch a 30-minute video. I won't sit and watch a 12-minute video. I will, however, sit and watch 10 3-minute videos back to back. I don't know why I do that, but I will. And I assume a lot of you do the same thing. So when you're thinking about, okay, how am I going to tell the story? I've got so much to say. I need to. That's fine. Map it out. Write it all out, and then kind of figure out. Okay, at 1.5 pages, you go. That's about 3 minutes. That's the end of part 1. To be continued. A lot of the methodology that I look at is driven, like I said, my background was from wanting to do movies, and I still play, and I still do that. So a lot of this psychology comes from the same thing that's been around for ages. Just because YouTube is now here doesn't mean that we don't already know a lot of these tricks. You've got your movie, and then you've got the trailer. And then the trailer usually comes out a few months before the movie. Then you've got your teaser that comes out maybe 6-7 months before. So you get the little teaser, oh my God, they're doing Avengers 2. I can't wait for the trailer to come out. And then the trailer comes out, and then you go see the movie, right? Same idea. In this case, the nice thing with what I do and with online videos, you can repurpose the content. It's the same thing that they're doing. You shoot the 3 minutes. You shoot this one first, and then you just cut it differently. When, again, it said, how long should your video be? It should be as long as it needs to be and no less, or no more than that. So get to 3 minutes, right, set up the whole thing, and then get rid of everything you don't need. So you've got your 3-minute video. Then, what else can you get rid of to get to your promo? Okay, now what else can I get rid of to get your teaser? So it's just so now you've got 3 pieces of content from essentially one effort, right?
So you wrote backwards?
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like what they do with stunts.
Kind of what they do with what?
Stunts.
Yes. Yeah. That's one. As a matter of fact, I've got excuse me, 2 projects I'm working on right now, and I wasn't sure where I was going to go, what I was going to do with it, and I had to remember my own advice. So I just dumped everything into the timeline, and the video is currently 12 minutes long. But now I have a visual. I can sit back and go, okay, now I can see what I want to work with. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I think it was the quote? They said Michelangelo's David. They said, how did you create this amazing masterpiece? He said, well, it was simple. I took a block of marble, and then I chipped away everything that wasn't David. Alright, so that's formats. And I apologize if I'm going kind of fast, because I want to try to leave some time for questions. So, next slide. Maybe. Okay, so now we get to scripting. I had a lot of trouble with this when I first started. Now, made simply, most people look at me as, and I promote myself as a video guy. In actuality, I'm post-production editing and animation. That's my specialty. And so I was really resistant to using scripts for 2 reasons. One, I'm kind of lazy, so I didn't want to have to write the thing if I didn't have to. And 2, I find that when people follow scripts, it becomes very robotic. One of the things that I love about video is that it has the ability to create a personal bond and its authenticity. And one of the things I had a problem with was by scripting it, things started becoming stale because people had to remember the script. They had to memorize everything. In fact, my roommate had his mom. He was doing some work for his mom. You know, he's a good son, and so he was doing some video work for her. And we were talking, and he said, yeah, it turned out pretty good. It's as good as it's gonna get because, well, she's not an actor. So, well, God, I mean, of course, none of you guys are actors. I'm not an actor. That's not what I get paid to do. So yeah, it's going to be a lot harder if you're going to be the one on camera, and I think that you should be, because again, it's your business, it's your blog, it's about you. So you're the face, you are your brand, so you should be in the video. So, but with that said, please do not be this guy.
Between the ages of 16 and 25, are you tired of those being slammed in your face when you apply for a job? Are you tired of lying around in bed all day with nothing to do, where you never need get up again? Because in 6 short weeks, I can train you to be a high-paying hoe. That's right. It's a known fact that a good hoe can make up to $1,500 a week. Just think, $1,500 a week without even leaving the comforts of your own bedroom. Sound too good to be true? Just think from my new book entitled, I Want to Be a Hoe. In 6 short weeks, you're not confident that you can make big money as a hoe working for me. Just send the book back for a 4 refund. It's as simple as that.
Well, you get to meet new people, travel.
Okay, so there's 2 reasons I show that slide. One, because I just think it's hilarious, and and the other one is I think that's what tends to happen when people try to go off of a script. You know, you can prepare for months and months and months, and that won't happen. But a lot of times people will look at and start watching TV. You'll start noticing it.
Yeah.
The lawyer's commercials. Hi, I'm so and so, and we have the best law firm in Arizona. Oh, don't do that. You don't want to do that. So that was my resistance to using a script. But for whatever reason, I don't know if I just forgot, but I stumbled on a different format. Normally when we think of a script, we think of, you know, it was a dark and stormy night. Enter so-and-so character, blah, 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 right? Movie script. This is an AV script. It's not new. Again, it's not something I invented. It's been around for ages. I actually found it in one of my old video broadcasting books. Audio-visual script simplifies things. It creates a T-chart, basically. So on one side you have audio, or your, what is this? You guys have a list of them. Fielder? These are your sound bites. Those sound bites that you guys listed? That's your sound bites. Why, how, what. And then that list of pictures or imagery that went with it, that goes here. Picture, picture, picture. So you just map it out. Okay, here's my why, thing, why, here's my what, here's the picture that goes with it. Now you've got a script, and you can fill in the gaps and add more information or take away depending on how long you want your video to be. Really easy. There's a program called TechPHX. It used to be free. It's now $18 for the desktop software. They got an online version, and it creates this format. That's the program that I use. But like I said, it's really just a T-chart. You can do it in Excel. It's real simple. Okay, and so, and actually, once you get pretty good at this, you can see how long it takes, how much, based on the length, you can tell how long the video is going to be. So with that, the way to get around that stale Velvet Jones speak, when I put in the audio, I don't put it in verbatim. I put in the bullet points. I put in the highlight of what I want to say. Because again, I'm a post-production guy, I like editing, so you can always edit out all the extra stuff. So if I'm working with you and you're my client, we're going to sit and we're going to talk, and I've got the script, and I'm just going to talk to you. And I encourage you, if you're shooting video on your own, get a friend to sit there with you. So now you're talking to me, not the camera. I'm sitting just off to the side of the camera, and you're talking to me, like a regular person. My job is to ask the right questions and make sure you say the bullet points. And once you've said it, I check it off, and I move on to the next question, and the next question, and the next question. And then we go back and cut it together. And then you take away all the stuff that wasn't dated. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Awesome. So that's the nuts and bolts of what I do anytime I'm developing a script, anytime I'm working with a client. So I'd like now to open it up to you guys. You can ask questions about pretty much anything that you want. So any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I did the scripting mistake.
Okay.
And I thought I could just sit in the chair and have a video camera and talk to it. And it was very uncomfortable. It didn't turn out well. So my question is, now I look at, okay, that wasn't a failure because I learned from it.
Yeah.
That was my practice run.
Okay.
And I didn't have the energy, I felt it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
And so I do it. But how long in your experience do you think somebody needs to practice, or people just natural at it?
I think some people are natural and some people aren't. I think it's a habit, and it's something that you have to work out. It's just like going to the gym. Now, some people know this trick, but I have a challenge for each and every one of you. For any of you who want to start creating content on your own, how many people have smartphones? Okay, so here's the trick. It sounds easy. Am I lying? You've tried this.
You're telling the truth.
Sounds easy. What I call the 10 in 10 challenge. You're going to make 10 videos. Each one of them has to be exactly 60 seconds, 1 minute long. And you have to do it 10 days in a row. Notice what I didn't say. I didn't say it has to be good. I didn't say that you have to show it to anybody. I didn't say what you have to talk about. If you want to sing Karma Chameleon, why did that come out? Sure, yes, Karma. If you want to sing that, I don't care. Sing whatever you want. I want you to pick a day, start today. Pull out your camera phone, turn it around, turn it on, and talk for 60 seconds straight about whatever you want. I guarantee you it's hard. Doing it once, the two things that you learn are, one, you get an appreciation for how long 60 seconds is. Okay? But the second thing is that you start developing the habit. Because you have to do it 10 days in a row. If you do it 4 days and stop, it don't count. Do it 10 days in a row, and I guarantee you, by the time you get to the 10th day, you're going to go, this is a lot easier. I'm not afraid of that little eyeball staring at me. And you go, okay. And you can start banging it out. So you ask me, how long does it take? Be able to do that. However long it takes you to be able to do 10 days in a row, then start going. But here's the thing, if you stop, you're going to lose it. It's just like working out. If you stop, you'll lose the ability to do it. I've only successfully done it twice. And the second I stopped, when I went to do it the second time, it was hard again. I actually shoot a talk show with my cousin, and he was scared to death. Go back and look at the first episode. Well, they were wasted too, but they had to, because they were terrified. Now, it's nothing. You can stare into the camera, no big deal.
So you call it what, 10?
10 in 10.
10 and 10.
Yep.
Can I quote you on that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, yes.
I'm not a pro either, but I used my phone and I did my video, and I got Final Cut Pro because I really wasn't working. But I wanted to get adventurous with the music thing and integrating it. That's so hard. Any tips?
It is. Integrating the music is actually very, very tricky. It's not impossible, but what you need to do is kind of curb your expectation. So here's how you simplify it. You find the music that you want. When you're talking, turn the volume down. When you're done talking, turn the volume back up. And then fade out. Now, what I mean by that is you have your opening sequence. You start, right? It's background noise. No one's. One of the things that I've found when I'm doing video, as I'm working on it, is that me as the creator, I have a different eye for it than me as the viewer. Okay? So a lot of times you're looking at it going, oh, I should do this or I should change that. You're looking at it as the creator. The viewer, just turn the volume down so it doesn't conflict with your voice. It's a white noise to them. They don't hear it. So you're saying, oh, I'm having trouble with music? Most likely they don't care. They care that it's there because they can hear it, but they're not listening to the song. If they are, then you need to change what you're talking.
Wrong with me.
Yeah.
And one other question too, any tips where, okay, so I shoot, because I don't have the light, in recommendations on lighting, because I'm doing it in my kitchen. And so I just do it because I notice the difference. I just plan it for the morning because the natural light comes out better than if I'm shooting at nighttime. And so I was just wondering, if I can't do it in the morning, I'm trying to stay consistent. So I may have to shoot at night. So is there a special light kit or something?
Yeah, there's dozens of light kits that you can buy. There's little points that, I'd say when you shoot, shoot in a situation where you control the light, so you can make it consistent. So if your natural reaction is to wake up in the morning, that's great, but like you said, you may not have daylight to use your advantage. Go into a bedroom where it's dark and turn on the lights the way you want them. Now you control the light, so you can shoot whenever you want. That would be tip number one. Tip number two is embrace the beauty of movie magic. If you shoot during the day, okay, I shot my video. It took me 5 minutes. Well, shoot another one.
Yeah.
And release it later.
Yeah.
And then shoot another one. So that you don't get stuck in that situation where it's, oh, I can't shoot it today. But there's nothing wrong with shooting at night either. You know, I mean, I feel like that was a terrible cop-out kind of answer. I'm just kind of like, yeah,
I guess what I want to
it's-
know, any inexpensive, because my lighting in my place is not that good, so.
So don't buy special lights, just buy light.
Okay.
That's what I can tell you.
Okay.
And try to make sure that the bulbs are consistent.
Okay.
That would be the thing.
Okay.
Software.
Software. Uh-oh.
What kind of software should we use to record, to edit? That's simple for, you know.
Okay, so to answer that question, it depends on what level of production you want to have. Depends on where you are on the chain. Easy? What do you have? Do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I have an iPhone. I also have a webcam, a higher quality webcam.
Okay, use your iPhone and iMovie.
Okay.
Because you already have it.
Okay.
Learn how to use it and do it. Interesting note. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I never really thought about it this way, but okay, I'm going to rant for a minute. So people assume that, oh well, you do video, so that must, and they get genuinely shocked when I tell them how much it is. And I think part of that is because they don't understand a lot of what goes into my skill set. But they look at it and go, oh, well, I can do that. If only I had the camera. So clearly it must be because you have a better camera. I use a Panasonic ACAG 130. It's full HD, it shoots at a resolution of 1920 by 1080p, and it costs about $6,000. The resolution of that camera is the exact same as my phone. It's got nothing to do with the equipment. The software, it's all just pushing buttons. Use it and practice it. Just get good. Get comfortable with it. That's the thing, get comfortable with it.
And consistent.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you talk about using music in background? Because is there something sort of like Creative Commons, so you're not committing copyright infringement?
Yes, you can go to Creative Commons. For those of you who are looking at YouTube, you're using YouTube. If you're not using YouTube, use YouTube. But they now have a music library, so you can get music from them. So that's probably the simplest way to do it. There's a lot of ways you can bang your head against the wall trying to find free open source music is kind of hard, or open source music that you would actually want to listen to. But YouTube now has a library. It's got some really good ambient music.
So they have a library, but does that mean, and we all have access, or is it one of those?
Everybody has access to it. So if you were to say, upload a video with no music, there's a little button, and this just started, so this is maybe 3 weeks ago that I noticed it. When you upload your video with no music, there's a little button in your video manager that says, add music? Like add music in the...
What if you just want to add silence?
If you just want silence?
Yeah, like, because when you do the video, sometimes you get all these stray sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a tricky one, being mindful of your sound.
I want to basically drop out all the sound,
Mm-hmm.
and then if I decide to add audio, I can do that on a separate track.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to do is drop out all the sound.
Okay. So that's going to go back to the software that you're using or how you're capturing the video to begin with. You should be able to, when you're creating the final version, do you use like iMovie or are you doing any editing at all? Or is it just...
I have the CS package.
Oh, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. So here's really the quick and simple version is when you drop it into Premiere, just turn off the audio track. Just turn it off.
Okay.
And then render it out.
I don't know if there's a way to delete the audio track.
You can do that. So if you want to write this down or if this makes sense, in Premiere, once you put the track on the timeline, right click and go to unlink.
Oh, okay,
Unlink. That'll separate your video track from your audio track, then you can delete the audio.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah. So put it on the timeline, right click, unlink, delete the audio track.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Have you tried Camtasia?
I have not.
Okay, that one I would recommend actually, because I learned it really quick on Deadline, and for video editing software, I'm not.
So one of the things I point out,
it was user friendly.
Yeah, I think finding the right software, find something that you're comfortable with that fits within your budget, and understand what it is you want to be able to do. I like creating like explosions in the middle of downtown New York type videos, so I use a very high-end piece of software. You guys don't necessarily need that. But that's also something that you can work your way up to. Get comfortable using iMovie, Windows Movie Maker, and these kinds of things. And then, as you're doing more, and you can upgrade to the next thing and upgrade to the next thing. So, one of the things that I think is a misnomer is that you always have to do this really high-end video. One of the biggest, most popular videos styles right now is Google Hangouts on Air. From a video quality standpoint, it is terrible, but nobody cares. That's not why people are watching it. I had an experience where I do martial arts, and I was creating the DVD of one of our events, and I did all these cool effects and slides and pans, and I had a whole lot of special effects going on, and I think I uploaded it to YouTube, and because I was trying to promote the DVD, and I think I got like 15 views. My buddy, who was also at the event, recorded the whole thing with his iPhone. He got like 300 views. I'm like, what the? And it's shaky and blurry, and know your audience. The audience didn't care that I had it on DVD, and they didn't care that I put in special effects. They wanted to see what was happening. So don't get too hung up on the quality, the production value at the beginning. Have something to say. There's a quote that I like to say, basically, if it's bad, your first fans will forgive you. Or excuse me, if it's good, everybody's going to love it, and your first fans will forgive any errors that you have. If it's bad, nobody's watching it anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay? So with that, that is just about all my time. Were there any other questions? Okay. So this is my contact information. If you ever want to get a hold of me, I work out of Gangplank down in Chandler. I also run the video initiative there, and we're always looking for more people who want to get creative. So with that, thanks for all the fish.
It's really hard.
Yes, I am.
I love that space. They're actually, they want to do the seminar. I cancel on there.
Thank you very much. That was great.
Oh, okay. So when you said, what was your institute? You said I'm at Gangplank, we're always looking for.
Oh, we're always looking for more creative types to come in. We're actually, so we're doing Creative Mondays on Monday nights now, and we're going to start teaching editing classes and video production classes. Thank you.
So Monday night?
Monday night.
So when he is it?
Monday from 6 till close is Creative Night. We haven't picked a time to do the editing process yet, but that's why I'm looking for people to contact me to let me know if they're interested. Once we have interest.
Yeah, the only thing, I'm like 17 characters.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
Chandler.
So they're closer to Echo?
I spoke there too.
Okay.
That's.
It's only 11.
I know, I wish I would.
Is the creative night, is that for any kind of?
That's for anybody and everybody. Absolutely. So writing, we have craft. We have a craft hack that goes on that night. We've got stand-up not stand-up comedy, but improv comedy. We've got band. We've got guitar lessons. And like I was saying, I want to start doing editing classes.
No, I haven't.
You gotta
It's
go.
ridiculous.